Wayne's Word, Episode 30.
Hi, this is Carter Ulery. Welcome to Wayne's Word, a show designed with you in mind, sharing motivation, inspiration, and transformation. Now here's your host, my dad, Wayne Ulery.
Thank you, Carter. Hello, friends. Welcome to Wayne's Word, a show designed with you in mind, bringing you motivation, inspiration, and transformation. Remember, you don't need a degree for a little MIT. Well, this is episode 30. It's hard to believe I've done 30 episodes already. Amazing. I'm enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun sharing with people. And I had taken a week off because I just, I'm not going to just do these episodes just to do them every day. I want to make sure that I'm following the lead of the Lord and doing something that He would like me to share. And in every episode, I do enjoy sharing the word of the day. So why don't we get started and just dig into the word of the day. Wayne's Word presents the word of the day. Enjoy. Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him. Again, Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him. Wow, great verse of the day. And I can remember the first time this verse really, erupted in my life, for lack of a better term or phrase. It was many years ago. It was probably back in 1997, 98. I was actually working for Best Buy in customer service. And wow, what a job that was. I mean, I dealt with so many irate customers. We were selling a lot of computers back then, and the computer systems would go down many times right in the middle of the transaction, and you'd have someone who was trying to buy a big computer package, the monitor, printer, tower, all the bells and whistles to go with it. And they'd open up a Best Buy charge or whatever it was, and the system would go down. And it would literally take like an hour to 2 hours to process the sale. And they already were in there for probably an hour picking out their computer. By the time the whole thing's done, they're all looking at 4 hours in the store and just getting fed up, And I didn't blame them. I would be upset too. But I mean, I remember people just yelling and screaming, and I would just sit there and look at them and realize, you know what, I'm not doing this. Well, at first I didn't, but this is when I realized it was when I was working there. And it says here, do everything, and in word or in deed, do it as if you're doing it unto the Lord. So I treated my job like it was a job I was doing for God, and it made it a whole lot easier to withstand what was going on. And you know what, it's interesting because the word of the day is going to segue really good into the reading from Ultimate Success God's Way, now that I think about it. And, but yeah, I realized that. And so if you do that, if maybe you're at a job or, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're experiencing frustration, if you're irritable, if you're just tired of working there or doing whatever it is that you're doing, 9 times out of 10, it's because you've been doing it for all the wrong reasons. Try to focus on the fact that you have what you have because God has given you a stewardship over it, and look at it from that standpoint and say, you know what, God, thank you for this job. Whether it's what you want to be doing or not, maybe you have bigger plans for your life, and that's fine. But during this phase, during this season of whatever's going on in your life, just try not to think about it as you're doing it for your boss or you're doing it for, whatever. Think about doing it as if you're doing it unto God. Another way I could put it is do the best you can do at your job. I mean, if you just get this mindset, and it's I don't know if it's easy to really get this concept, but if you can just view it as what you're doing it for God, you're going to do it better, right? You're going to do it with a servant's heart, and you're not going to do it. Don't do it because you want to get a bonus or you want to get a promotion at your job. Do it because you're doing it as if you were doing it for the Lord. And those things will follow. I will tell you that. Your attitude and everything will change, and grace will be upon you, which is what we're going to be talking about here in Ultimate Success, God's Way. So I'm amazed how the word of the day and the reading today are going to mesh really nicely together. I think we're going to have a nice little time together. And this is December 4th's reading out of Ultimate Success, God's Way, 365 daily devotions to encourage, equip, and inspire. I love that word, inspire. Okay, so let's go at it. Here's one page, and it reads, When the Grace Lifts. The scripture is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. My grace is sufficient for thee. When God has graced you, you can handle just about any situation. Listen to Paul. 3 times I called upon the Lord, begged that it might depart from me. But he said to me, my grace, in other words, my favor and loving kindness and mercy, is enough for you, sufficient against any danger, and enables you to bear the trouble manfully. For my strength and power show themselves most effective in your weakness. So for the sake of Christ, I am well pleased and take pleasure in infirmities, insults, hardships, persecutions, perplexities, and distresses. For when I am weak in human strength, then I am truly strong, able, powerful, in divine strength. But there's something you should understand. When the grace lifts, it's God's way of getting you to recognize that things are changing, that it's time to consult Him as to your next move. Pay attention. Why? Because when the grace lifts, we tend to become ungracious towards others and risk tearing down valuable relationships we've spent our lives building. Don't let that happen to you. We're not talking about having a bad day in which you're irritable or impatient. We all have those. No, we're talking about reaching the place where your attitudes and actions consistently hurt others. It's not an occasional thing, it's a pattern. So, has the grace you've experienced lifted? Has an old season of relationship ended? Are you now hurting the situation more than helping? Ask God for fresh direction. Search His Word for wisdom as to your future. When the grace lifts, it's time to say, Lord, what do you have in mind for me now? Woo! I'm really excited about today's episode because the two play very well together. The word of the day and what I just read. And it's so true. And I can tell you that I'm now just thinking of a time, even recently, over the past 6-7 years, where a grace lifted. And I didn't seek the Lord. I didn't realize it for what it was. I ended up realizing it, but it took me a while. You know, isn't that like us? Sometimes it just takes us so long to realize what God's trying to tell us or do in our lives because we're so busy. If you got kids, you got jobs, you got birthdays, you got all these things in life that distract you. Sometimes it's so hard to just wait on the Lord and listen to the Lord and see what He has for you. So hopefully, for those of you that are listening out there, think about it. Is there anything that you're doing or involved in, or is there anyone you're involved with, a friend, a relationship, whatever it is, where the grace just isn't there? How do you know if the grace isn't there? Let's talk about that. I mean, I think it's pretty evident, but sometimes, again, if you're not conscious of it, you might not really realize it. And let me give you an example. Let's say you have, I can think of some examples in my life, and I'll use one of them. So let's say you have a friend who, you meet with, you have a great time together, you have things that you have in common, you're just sharing, and there's just a grace, when you meet, there's just a grace on the relationship, you're happy, they're happy, you're sharing, you're open, whatever. But have you ever had a relationship like that where all of a sudden you come together and it's just not the same? You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to hurt them, and they didn't do anything to hurt you. I mean, nothing really changed as far as that goes. But now all of a sudden it just seems like, okay, on Fridays I used to hang out with so-and-so, but Friday's here, and man, I think I'd rather do this, or I'd rather hang out with this person, or I'd rather do that. Maybe just stay in and seek the Lord, or whatever. And that's a good sign that the grace has been lifted. Does it mean you can't be friends? No, that doesn't mean that. But it may mean that time that you've been spending together, that time that you've carved out and almost made a ritual in your life, maybe God wants you to do something else in that time. Maybe God has someone else that he wants you to connect with or to reach out with. And I use this example with a person, with a relationship, just because I think it's one of the easiest to explain. But this can happen at a job. So, I read the scripture in the beginning that said, do all things as if you're doing them, work or deed, or word or deed. Do everything as if you're doing it unto the Lord. And I think if you do that, I believe if you do that, you will experience grace in your workplace. Now, if you are doing that and you feel the grace lift, it's not because you're not doing things unto the Lord. You're probably doing that. It's just because maybe he has a new direction for you. Maybe it's now time for you to really do a self-inventory or a God inventory, right? Maybe it's time to sit down and reach out to God and say, okay, you know what? I'm just not as excited about going to work anymore. I'm dreading it anymore. I remember a time when I couldn't wait to get to work. I couldn't wait to work with this person. I couldn't wait to do the job. I couldn't wait. But now it's like it's a job. I've always heard that when you're doing what you're called to do, or you're doing what you love, it won't even feel like it's work. So if what you're doing feels like work and there's no grace in it, it's probably time to think about what's going on. And you know what? There's many people that I think they ignore that. I think they ignore the fact that there's no longer grace on what they're doing. And they have plenty of time to begin to transition or to see where their next, place that the Lord would have them go, but they don't. And then what happens? It becomes final. They get fired. They get let go. And it's like God was giving them a heads up from the beginning, and they just didn't want to believe it. They just didn't want to hear it. And I don't know. I hope this reaches someone today, because I think this is very interesting how the word of the day and this book went together. I couldn't have planned that if I tried. The word of the day is produced by my app each day. And I think there's just been a wonderful marriage between the two. And I'm really excited to continue on in this way, using the Ultimate Success God's Way along with the Word of the Day app, or Bible app. So I want to leave you with this. Think about this. Are you doing things as if you're doing them unto the Lord? Are you doing them for yourself, or are you doing them for someone else? And also, has the grace of God lifted in some area of your life, whether it be a relationship or the work you do or something that you're involved in? And if so, what are you going to do about it? Thanks for hanging out with me here at Wayne's Word, a place where motivation, inspiration, and transformation are shared. You don't have to have a degree for a little MIT. And remember, this show is designed with you in mind. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye-bye now.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.